Hello and welcome. I am Arumba. Thank you for joining me. Let's play some more Pugnacious Poland in Europa. Not Europa. My God, I've gotten so it's been 2.5 years. Okay, that I've been saying that. We're not playing Europa Universalis 4. We're playing. This is a new game. It's a new game. It's called Hearts of Iron 4. I don't know if you've heard of it. We severely lack infantry equipment. We need 16,000 of it. Our need for towed artillery is currently satisfied. However, it won't be once we add the thing. One thing to consider, though, is that when we modify this division, it's only going to cost 10 experience. The towed artillery are going to not lower our movement speed. It's going to lower our HP and organization. Recovery rate's going to come down. Our suppression ability is going to go down. That's fine. Supply use does go up. Our piercing ability... Breakthrough. How many attacks a unit can attempt to avoid while on the defensive? So we're not gonna be quite as good at defense with this army, but we're gonna be much better at breakthrough. In fact, that's another thing that's important to consider. Breakthrough of 31.5 versus 34.5. So we're gonna be better on the offense, and we do a lot more damage. Heart attack is also going to be 11.1 versus 10.1. So we're going to try out that design. The 7-2 is a very common layout, apparently. So we do have some guys who are actually considered regulars, which is nice. We like those. In one of my campaigns, I don't remember which one it was recently, I actually had troops. I think I was playing a solo campaign as France like last night, and I sent over a few divisions to Spain, and they actually got up to 50% modifiers. They were some really big, badass motorized dudes. They got a lot of combat experience. So that was fun. I want to get some guys who are well experienced. Okay, construction 1 is almost done. We also have another modifier to our production speed, which is good. Or rather, we're working on it. It's one of the research we're doing right now. We're doing construction 1. Construction speed will go up by 10%. And then concentrated industry factory output is going to modify this number right here. Right now we have a production modifier of 10% on our export because of our export focus. So our 5 military factories contribute 15.12 production. Weapons have a cost of 0.5, which means we produce 30.25 units per day. We're at full production efficiency of 55%. Oh, right. As I was saying, one of the things to consider is that when we switch over the units, we're going to lose some infantry from each of the divisions, so we don't actually have quite as big of a need for infantry equipment as it says we do, because we're going to need the artillery. So we need a lot of artillery. In fact, can we switch over production even harder? And I think the answer is yes. One tungsten, 2 steel. We have the tungsten. Let's do this. We're going to go nuts. We're going to go nuts. We're going to make a lot of towed artillery. I know we just gave up a lot of production efficiency towards light infantry equipment, and eventually we are going to want more. In fact, we coincidentally just completed that factory, so we didn't even lose the bonus because I turned it right back on right away. So that's convenient. And we're working on our next military factory. We are allowed to modify our government. We have 151 points already. One of the nice things about Poland is that we don't actually start off with any negative modifiers to our political power generation, so we do have some choices here. We could get a smooth talking charmer. We could get a military factory construction speed guy. Or we could go straight for one of these like military high command guys. Infantry expert could be good. If anything, I would like to hire a guy who gives us, military theorist. Army experience, daily army experience, because I want to do some modifications, and land doctrine is something that I also like having discounts on. So I'm going to go ahead and hire that guy. I want the daily experience gain. No point, I think, in really worrying about training these guys up just yet. We're years away from war. And again, we can't justify, there's not even any opportunity to justify a war goal for us right now. Because we're not aligned. But Czechoslovakia, you're going down, man. I'm gonna kick your butt. This is ahead of time, so we're going to skip out on that. We'll go for some basic support weapons, probably. Just give us, you know what, actually, artillery. Interwar artillery. Let's make the artillery better, since we are going for an artillery-based focus with the 7.2. How do we want to do our mountaineers? Do we want to do like a 7.2 mountaineer? Could be good. I mean, it wouldn't be bad. Obviously, we want to stick engineering companies and support artillery on everything. The ideal circumstance, the 7.2 infantry would still have support artillery. Like, we want that too. It's just that with our first experience, we're gonna sub out and get regular stuff. Italy annexed Ethiopia. Shocking. That never seems to happen, does it? Yeah. So world tension's at 2% now. Let's see. Let's calculate this out. We've got how many divisions? 38 divisions. So 38 times 72. We're going to need about 2,736 towed artillery to switch over the full thing. And we've got 280. We're producing 3 per day. So 2,736 minus what we have divided by 3. That's going to take 818 days. God, yeah. We need more towed artillery. Like, lots of towed artillery. If we want every division to have towed artillery. We might not be able to do that. We might not be able to field that many. In fact, we probably won't set it up that way. Internationalism is now done. Let's go ahead and do authoritarianism, which is going to make it so that we dislike democracy. Down with democracy. Vincent Witos, we don't like you. His popularity is already going down on a daily basis because of our communist support. I do not like, one of the things that I strongly dislike is how, depending on the current levels of support, the daily change gets modified. Like, as you get closer to 50%, you'll just see a modifier on there. At this level, the daily impact is half as much. Why? I pay all these points for the daily change 0.1, and then you cut it in half for no reason at some level? What? That doesn't seem fair. You may have noticed that I renamed boot camp to Pugnacious Practice. This is what we're going to do. we're going to practice pugnaciously. I suppose one thing we could do is, instead of having something about the Olympics, instead of having trying to make every single division have the artillery, we could just have multiple divisions. We could duplicate this. This will be our infantry plus art. We'll just call this INF 7 plus art 2. I'm very complicated. And then I don't like this. We're not going to be using these divisions probably, but we'll keep it around. We'll just call it suppression. Hopefully my system makes sense. I don't know that it does. But yeah, you know, one thing we could do is, instead of trying to set it up in such a way that we can actually have every single division carry the extra soft attack, we'll just convert as many as we can, and some will be stronger than others. Some will have it, some won't. You know, we'll field as many as we can. So perhaps we're making a mistake then by not making more infantry equipment, because we're going to want to convert this manpower into bodies. 100,000 manpower. Well, that's 100,000 dudes we could throw out there. And if each of these things costs 10,000, then that's 10 more regiments we could field. 10 more divisions, excuse me. And one other thing is that fairly soon after switching over to war economy, we can switch up from volunteer only to I think we're probably going to want to do service by requirement? No. Probably going to end up being like limited conscription is the one that you usually end up doing. Also, actually, don't we have... I think we have somewhere in here... I think we get more recruitable population just by being special. Well, since we're going this route, these are shut down to us. I feel like they should just, like, gray these out a little bit more so you know you can't do them, period. We can still do this. There we go. Yeah, Polish militarism, 2.5%. Effective partisans on us, minus 10%. So we're going to want to do that. That 20 army experience would be nice. But first things first, let's go left. Going left is going to give us another 0.1 daily communist support and acceptance of communist diplomacy. So that's going to swing us to the left even faster. Right now, we are now already up to 22% socialist support. Sorry, communist support. For some reason, it's called the Polish Socialist Party. Instead of calling it the Polish Communist Party, they call it Socialist Party because it sounds better. And then here's where you see it. At this popularity, effects are scaled to 50%. What? Why? Why? I don't like that. Bothers me. However, we are still seeing democracy being brought down, which is indirectly bringing everything else up by a little bit. So socialism, communism should be going up by more than 0.05 per day. If it's not, and it isn't, interesting. It's interesting that it's not. Is it just dragging out from here then? Yes. Interesting. So the fact that democracy is being brought down is only dragging out from the non-aligned and the fascist. That's where it's stealing it from, but it's not actually boosting from here. That's very curious. I would have assumed that it would have done all three equally. 1/3 of each party, or you know, if it's 52% BBWR, then of the 0.10, 50% of it is going to come from here, and 12% from here, and 23% from here would get boosted, or whatever, but... So the daily democracy thing is actually boosting support for popularity of the BBWR right now. By a bit. But go left will help us. We do have some army experience from our army guy. He's doing a good job, so we can go ahead and we can update our division. So the Inf 9 Art 2, I guess technically we'll call it Inf 8 Art 1 for now, because that's what it's going to be. And we don't have any of these divisions, but let's switch over a couple of them. How much artillery do we need, and how much do they take? Each one takes 36, and we've got 752. 752 divided by 36, that means we can support 20 divisions. So that means that we can do, all of these guys can switch over to that for now. And we have 3 whole research slots that completed at the exact same time. How cool. Well, we definitely want radio. We definitely want to do this, even though it's ahead of time, and this, even though it's ahead of time. Not fully reinforced. Still waiting on infantry equipment. We're allowed to modify the government again. War industrialist, I'm really strongly considering buying. Armor expert is probably not something I think we're going to be looking at much. We don't have a lot of really good things going on here. Let's go ahead and pick up the war industrialist. And military construction speed is going to be pretty useful, I think. The Socialist Party, that's what we care about. Now hopefully that .10 that we're about to gain from going left is not going to get scaled as well. Probably will, if I had to guess. Which is kind of BS, if you ask me. Because it doesn't say anything in here that, you know, like, the numbers you're seeing are not true. It's not actually going to be daily communist support plus .10, it's actually going to be .05. And that actually gets worse, too. I've seen it go down to a quarter of the normal amount. So, this focus will cancel if the prerequisites are not met. Seek accommodation with the USSR, opinion goes up. Seek accommodation. Anti-Comintern Pact. Germany, coincidentally, proposes that we sign a pact recognizing that the aim of the Communist International, known as the Comintern, is to disintegrate and subdue existing states by all means at its command, convinced that the toleration of its interference. Let's join the Anti-Comintern Impact or refuse. I said, screw you. We're going communist. Communism is awesome. We like communism. So, we're not communist yet, so they won't let us join their faction. Because we have a different ideology. But if we seek accommodation with them, then that makes them like us better. But I don't think we actually need to do that. I think that they'll let us join just because we become communist. So we're going to pass up on this one for now. And instead we're going to just go for militarism. I want the extra experience and I want the extra recruitable population. And we want to do Polish revanchism as soon as we can, just for our war goal time. So that we can get our thing going with you as soon as we become communist. You still, yeah, 19 to 34 divisions. So that's a few. We've got 40. So we definitely have more than you do, and you have no allies. You're not part of a faction or anything. No one's guaranteeing you. It'd be a tough war. I think we could take them. Almost have enough army experience to update the division template again. These guys almost have everything they need, so let's go ahead and begin the exercise. Get them up to regulars. Or at least trained. Trained, I think, is good enough. This will actually also help us out. At least it should. But no, it's not. I don't get it. I'm very confused by this. Normally, when you train troops, you get experience, and yet I am not seeing... I'm seeing the attrition, but I'm not seeing any listed gains for experience from training. Huh. Was there a patch that I was unaware of, and they like removed that or something? Could be. All right, we have enough that we can modify the template again. Okay. Still have some spare stuff here, so let's go ahead and grab some of our lesser trained fellas. And we will switch them over to that division and then assign them to there. There's a chance they won't need training. We'll see. Our need for infantry equipment's going to come down a little bit as we switch these over. We have 41 units of artillery, and each one of our Inf 7 Art 2s requires how many again? 72, I think it is. So we could do one. Do like one more guy. So that'll give us 15 that have artillery with them. There we go. Now we're getting some from exercise training. Not a huge amount, but why is it that we weren't getting it earlier? I guess is the question. Oh, Derp, I know why. You only gain experience training from trained to regulars. You don't get it going up to trained. My mistake. Okay, well, I guess we're not gonna worry about that then. We're not gonna worry about getting experience that way. I'm not gonna pay the points for it. We don't have the equipment. We just can't afford to. We're not Germany. We can't afford to throw away equipment, I think, in training. So these guys are good to go. I mean, they're trained up enough, and they've got some serious soft attack. And if we mix these guys in, they are going to be solid. So all we're really waiting on now is communist support to go up quite a bit. Look at that. Daily communist change is only at 0.06. So it's going to take a little while. Democracy is down to 0%. It's just gone. Which means that we're not getting anything here, but even though this should be 0.2, it's actually 0.06. And I wish that I knew exactly what Marxist sympathies in the government, although the party line of the WWII is strongly opposed to revolutionary socialism, keeping a watchful eye on the nation's radical left-wing elements, some people in government are more open to the possibility of nothing else. They see room for addressing concerns of people who look to communists for solutions without risking a full-scale civil war. So, like, I wish I knew exactly why it's being scaled back. Is it something about our... I don't know what it is. We got Polish militarism, which is awesome. We do Polish revanchism, which we're going to want. Or we could start going towards prepare for the next war, research bonus for some other stuff, research bonus for industry, land doctrine. We get a free military building. God, these are all horrible. That extra research slot's going to be pretty important. We should probably try to get that. With this 20 army experience, I think we modify our templates. And you know what? In hindsight, this is where I've made a mistake already. I shouldn't have done this. I should have waited. Because now, if I wanted to change it back to infantry, it's 5. You see? Which is so annoying. But what I could have done is I could have edited, added support artillery, and then duplicated it, and then made the changes and saved myself 10 experience. So I kind of messed up there. Oh well, you know what, it is what it is. This is going to require us... does it say anywhere on here how many of these divisions we have? I think it shows it here. 23 divisions. So if I add 23 divisions of support artillery, 23 times 24... 23 times 24. We need another 552 just to be able to even do that. We do not have that much code artillery. So even adding it right now would probably be a bad idea. However, support equipment at 153 is also not really enough. How could we modify it? We want the engineering companies. Gives more defense and breakthrough. Now, defense and breakthrough are stats that I'm still trying to, like, wrap my head around. Defense, how many attacks a unit can attempt to attack on the defensive? So, breakthrough is when you're on the offense. Defense is when you are defending. Got it. So, both of them are good. I'd say that we want, the breakthrough on the ones that we're going to be using to push with, which have these artillery. So, this would be the one that I'd like the artillery on first. So let's just go ahead and do this. Let's give them the artillery, that thing there, and then now we're going to have a shortage of support equipment for quite a few days. Just not building enough of it. And we'll see. We'll see how we do. The fact that we've got some spare towed anti-artillery, or towed artillery, just means that we need to switch over some more divisions to include. They're losing their training, which is unfortunate, but hey, it's new equipment. It is what it is. We should change the symbol, I think, as well. So the infantry 9 is pure infantry. This symbol will do that one. That way when I'm looking at it, I can see a little bit clearer. How quickly does this update? Because as quick as I'm switching it over, it seems like it's... We're still having plenty of towed artillery. Oh, there we go. Looks like maybe it takes to the end of a day before they start requesting it. Okay, cool. Well, I'm going to take a break here, and in the next episode, we will hopefully be ready to embrace communism and begin fabricating a claim on Czechoslovakia, which will double our strength. So we shall see. So thanks for watching, everyone. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. See you soon.